Today, people often see Stoics as individuals who cannot be broken, who don't linger in emotional extremes like fits of rage or bouts of anxiety. But the original idea behind Stoicism was much more than that. Rather than just describing people who are unemotional, Stoicism was a way to view, describe, and understand the world. It was a way of life, and that way of life has lasted for centuries. Stoic philosophy can be applied to situations today the same way it was applied thousands of years ago, and its benefits are just as impactful. Stoicism allows us to process negative emotions from negative experiences and turn them into thoughts that give us a unique perspective of the world. Perspective is everything, and everyone in the world has different experiences and thus different perspectives on things. Since the Stoics gathered, discussed, and taught philosophy in public places, their general philosophy was widely known. They believed that Stoic principles could benefit anyone and everyone, so it didn't make sense to hide that knowledge behind the four walls of a school or palace courtyards. As a result, everyone from slaves to emperors could learn and become a Stoic, and they did. Some of the world's most notable Stoics include Epictetus, whose name translates to acquired as he was once a slave, Seneca, a renowned statesman, and Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most powerful men to have ever lived. The early Stoics practiced what they preached, avoiding all forms of segregation and leading the fight against inequality. They even invented the word cosmopolitan, which literally means citizen of the world. When people hear that word now, we think of cities like New York, Toronto, Dubai, and London because of how diverse they are. This was the type of unity and togetherness that the Stoics preached. Even at a time when it wasn't popular, women were allowed to freely learn about Stoicism and become Stoics themselves. So why do so many people adopt Stoicism as a way of life? In a world full of unexpected events, our emotions can get in the way of things. In reality, we don't get sad because bad things happen to us. We get sad because unexpected bad things happen to us. Rain is a good thing. It waters our plants, provides water for livestock, and keeps the temperature cool and humid. But when that dark cloud catches you outside without an umbrella, it's never a good experience. So why don't we cry when it starts to rain? It's because, although the situation is bad, we've learned to expect rain. It's something unavoidable. We can't control the weather. Although it sucks, the rain passes, and the light returns. Stoicism teaches us that in the same way, we should expect that everything bad that can happen will happen. Picture the worst outcome, and be content knowing it could happen. One of the Stoic exercises is known as voluntary discomfort, aimed at increasing feelings of gratitude. Sleep on the floor of your kitchen. Take cold showers when you usually take hot ones. Eat nothing but potatoes for a few days, things like this. This exercise helps you understand that no matter how hard it gets, you'll still survive and potentially thrive if your mindset is right. By withstanding these uncomfortable situations, we indirectly prepare our minds for future misfortunes. In the current state of the world, where advertisements constantly bombard us, we're made to believe that if we don't have the next best thing, look a certain way, or make a certain amount of money, we'll never be happy. This message is more important now than ever. We enter the world not knowing much of anything. We grow up learning from home, school, and our own observations. The thing is, often these sources of knowledge teach us in different ways. The question is, do we need to internalize all of this knowledge? If we do, we could set unrealistic expectations for our lives, leaving us disappointed and unsatisfied. That's no way to live. We should focus on improving ourselves for ourselves. We should do things for ourselves and only for that reason. Attaching external hope or secondary attachments to our actions almost always leads to disappointment. Most of the time, we try to fill that emptiness with external things, spending all our money on a fancy car, a house, or even starting a family. Sometimes we do all of these things for their external value, not their internal value. Stoicism teaches that if you approach life this way, you place your happiness in the hands of external forces that can always fail. Cars break down, natural disasters wipe out entire cities, and divorce rates climb higher each year. But even the free things in life come at a cost. The cost of space, both physical and mental. As Seneca once wrote, learning to live with less creates space in your life for the things that truly matter. We must place our happiness on our intrinsic value as humans, not on anything we have or can acquire. We must choose to keep a cool head, regardless of what life throws at us, because, at the end of the day, we don't have control over most things that happen to us, but we do have control over how we react to them. That is the dichotomy of control, the most important principle in Stoic philosophy. To learn to separate what we control from what we can't, we need to determine our value from things we can control. Striving towards goals is a good trait, but breaking down when things don't go your way is, in a Stoic's view, useless. Making YouTube videos is easier than being a Roman emperor, but it can still be challenging. First, you must form your idea, which takes forever. Then research that idea. Scrap it because it sucks. Start over. Script the video. Create the video. Edit it. Make the title, thumbnail, and everything else before you hit upload. Everything up to the point of uploading is up to you. However, once you click that upload button, the power shifts to the YouTube algorithm. Still, many people judge the success of their YouTube channel or Instagram account based on views and followers, metrics mostly beyond their control. Stoics teach that you should judge the success of your work based on the effort you put in, not on the outcome of external hopes. Trust the process. Think about a person who has worked hard at their job for 6 months. He feels he deserves a promotion, so he approaches his boss with his performance report. The boss says thanks, but doesn't grant the promotion, and he goes home thinking he must suck at his job. He doesn't consider that the boss might have woken up angry, someone else might be better qualified, or the company might be losing money. He doesn't know the reason, but he's upset. If he placed his value on the quality of the report he turned in and kept working towards the promotion, he could have been much happier. It's the right perspective. His goal wouldn't be diminished, just postponed. This reframing of mindset is crucial. A true Stoic does not view their successes based on financial gain, but is comforted by living a comfortable life without all the things money can buy. These are the 4 main virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Stoicism involves separating what is internal from what is external and choosing our reactions to what happens to us. As Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space, and that space is our power to choose our response. Courage means persisting and resisting. Temperance or moderation means doing more with less and saying more with fewer words. While Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are at the top of the Forbes list, Stoics believe the limit of wealth should be having what is essential and then having what is enough. Justice is the most important virtue, instructing that no one should harm another because we are all born to do good to each other, not just ourselves. Nelson Mandela, one of the most famous African leaders, fought against apartheid and was sentenced to life imprisonment, where he stayed for 27 years before being released. When he was released, he was elected president of South Africa. Many thought he would punish those involved with apartheid or his imprisonment, but he did not. During his imprisonment, Mandela read Marcus Aurelius's works and learned the core values of Stoicism, practicing them throughout his life. Instead of seeking revenge, Mandela urged his people to relax and rebuild, stressing that the past was beyond their control and that they should focus on building a better nation. This is the way of the Stoic.